Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating challenge. We are looking at the strategic toolkit you need to take a local business and push it across international borders. We're going to be drawing on some really comprehensive insights from Trade and Investment Bangladesh, or T&IB, who specialize in helping businesses navigate this exact, highly complex journey. So, if you've ever been curious about how a local, hometown company suddenly becomes a massive global player, well, let's get right into it. So think about this for a second. Why do so many successful local businesses fail when they try to go global? It's kind of a harsh reality, isn't it? Every single year, thousands of businesses launch. Some of them grow incredibly fast, right? They establish this really strong market position locally, but then they just struggle to survive past those crucial first few years of expansion. The truth is, sustainable growth almost never happens by chance. It requires a very specific set of tools and a deliberate strategy that, honestly, a lot of entrepreneurs completely overlook until it's just too late. All right, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to uncover the barriers to global growth, look at the power of business mentorship, figure out how to leverage market intelligence, walk through the steps to expand beyond borders, and finally, we'll take a look at foreign investors entering Bangladesh. Starting off with Section 1, the barrier to global growth, and specifically, why having a good product just isn't enough. Okay, let's dive into this. Relying solely on an excellent product is a massive trap. And I know that's a really tough pill to swallow for passionate creators, but a great product simply does not guarantee international success. No way. When we look at the most common obstacles, something really surprising is actually missing from the list: funding. It turns out just throwing money at a business is basically useless if you're suffering from a lack of strategic direction, limited business networks, poor market intelligence, weak marketing efforts, and limited international exposure. Operating reactively without addressing those specific strategic gaps, that is exactly why so many expansions fail. So, the big question is, how do we fix those gaps? That brings us perfectly to Section 2, the power of business mentorship, or what we like to call the executive catalyst. There is this fascinating insight from MD Joynal Obdin, the founder and CEO of T&IB. He says, business growth rarely happens by chance. Behind every successful company lies a combination of vision, strategy, execution, networking, market intelligence, and continuous adaptation. I love that quote. It really highlights that true global scaling requires a totally deliberate, structured support system. You absolutely cannot just wing it on the global stage. Picture this. You've got a stark contrast between a reactive, struggling solopreneur who is basically just putting out daily fires versus a strategically mentored business. Without help, founders end up guessing what the market wants, and they learn through incredibly costly trial and error. But with tailored expert guidance, they swap all that frustration for actual strategic planning. They rely on hard data, they uncover new expansion opportunities, and they avoid those fatal mistakes entirely. A personalized mentorship approach literally saves businesses years of struggling in the dark. Moving right along to Section 3, matchmaking and market intelligence. This is all about the data-driven approach. So, having a great mentor is step one, absolutely. But connecting with the right people, that is where the execution actually begins. Finding reliable buyers is notoriously tough. You might have world-class goods, but if you can't reach the customer, you are stuck. Let's move to and see how this builds, because having a structured matchmaking progression completely changes the game. It starts with identifying qualified prospects, which seamlessly leads into connecting with the right importers and distributors. From there, you build strategic relationships, ultimately securing recurring global orders. This essentially turns a terrifying global search into a highly reliable pipeline, where just a single successful buyer relationship can generate recurring orders for years. But here's the catch. You can't just match with anyone, anywhere. Blindly entering a market is incredibly dangerous. Guessing in the international market is just way too expensive. Think about it. If you don't analyze market demand, you might enter a space with no actual need for your product at all. Ignore competitor activities and you're immediately outpriced. Fail to understand regulatory requirements and boom, you are suddenly hit with costly legal or customs barriers. And ignoring cultural preferences, that leads to total product rejection. Smart decisions absolutely have to be founded on hard market research. Next up is Section 4, expanding beyond borders and figuring out how to get real visibility in the global marketplace. Okay, so once you have the data and the connections, how do you actually execute? Well, the business landscape has fundamentally shifted, and digital marketing is no longer optional. It is absolutely essential. Tools like search engine optimization, targeted Google ads, messaging campaigns via WhatsApp or email, and just having compelling business branding. These allow a manufacturer sitting in Dhaka to instantly attract customers in London or Dubai or Sao Paulo. A strong brand represents trust. The internet has totally leveled the playing field, creating a true global marketplace. But you have to know how to drive that digital machinery to compete. And finally, Section 5, Foreign Investors in Bangladesh. Let's look at the two-way street. Global trade is incredibly dynamic, right? It flows both ways. And this brilliantly illustrates how for local exporters, a strategic partner provides market selection, matchmaking, and networking to scale outward. But for foreign investors looking to enter Bangladesh, that exact same local expertise provides critical local market knowledge, commercial due diligence, and trusted business representation to enter the market safely. A trusted strategic consultant basically acts as the ultimate two-way bridge, dramatically reducing the risk for both sides of the equation. As we wrap up this explainer, the core realization we're left with is super clear. The future belongs to businesses that embrace innovation, strategic planning, market intelligence, and international opportunities. The business environment is literally only getting more competitive by the day. If you rely solely on traditional localized methods, you run a very real risk of losing your market relevance. Sustainable growth demands continuous learning, adaptability, and some incredibly strong partnerships. So the global market is ready. The opportunities are out there just waiting. But is your growth strategy ready? It's a challenging question for sure. Take a hard look at your own readiness for sustainable international expansion. Until next time, keep exploring.